Monday morning or evening, as case may be. Now, some of you are looking at us and saying, they stay in the same clothes day after day. That's like 4 or 5 days in the same clothes. It's like, no. But we did record everything on Friday, which was our last work day in 2021. But then we did do a recording for 2022. You will see the boys live, and you will notice I will probably not be in this purple outfit. Nor will I have earrings on that early in the morning, but I will be dressed and I will have cleaned myself and there will be coffee involved. But those are the rules. I would also say that it's now Monday for you. We're talking a little ahead of time, but here's what we think you might be interested. So what's changing, what's staying the same, and what are we letting go of in PAC world for 2022? Because this is like the first work day of 2022. So we thought we'd just reiterate or share out some of the things in case we've changed quite a few things this coming up year and wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. Soltis Place will probably have a more prominent role in some of our live sessions, potentially, where if I'm over there and I'm doing something and there's someone around, we may have opportunities to have guests on. People who are living with dementia who are available and are interested in participating with us. Or we may do things in the center that, focus on what is it that we're doing in the nonprofit world over there that is hopefully making a difference in people's lives, giving people some thoughts, some ideas, some on in-between times, try some things out. But what we're also going to be doing is on our TIPA for 10s, one of the things we're going to do on our recorded days moving forward, we're going to take some of the questions that you have for us, and we'll respond to them via those recordings. So it will give you a chance to put in a question that you want us to explore a little bit. We'll work on that on the day in between when we would be live. We'll still be going live as far as we know on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Sunday with the boys. As far as we know, that's still the plan. That's our plan, barring anything unusual. But that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday gives us 3 days to possibly do things that are a little bit different for recordings. And we'll try to keep them short so we're not boring you. But what else is happening? Well, Matthew, the Ask TIPA Anythings and the problem solving with PAC team, we've done them. We have one on the first week of the month, and then we had one on the third week of the month, every month. So what's changing this next year? Because we did make a change.
We did. Yeah, TIPA. So we made a change to where it's going to be one a month now. So it'll be in that first week of the month and it'll alternate. So starting here in January, this week, right, is our
Wednesday night.
Is going to be our Ask TIPA Anything. So it's going to kick off with the Ask TIPA Anything, and then it'll alternate from there each month. So the next month is going to be the problem solving with the PAC team. So that'll be the change for that Ask TIPA Anything and the dementia problem solving with the PAC team.
And it probably will result in on the Ask TIPA's Anything will be on Facebook, and then the problem solving will be on YouTube. I've got a feeling we'll get to a rhythm, but I'm not going to for sure tell you what the rhythm is because I don't know. Just going to be honest. That's Matthew's thing, not TIPA's thing. And Taffy's. So we have other people on the team that take care of those details. And I'm along for that ride. They just show me where I'm supposed to be and then I do my thing. So we have that. The other thing that's going to be a little different is that the Live at 5 sessions are only going to happen twice a week. They're going to happen 2 times a week, I believe. And the 2 times a week will be how-tos. So they will still be how-to sessions that you can access at any time, but they will be available. They'll be made available. They'll launch twice a week. So we know, and they're always how-tos. How do you? Or why does this happen and what do you do? Kind of thing. Yeah.
And that's another one of those places where we're also pulling those questions that you guys share with us in anything that we do. So, and big thank you to everybody too, who comment on what we put out there, because that's what helps us to get those questions. And we do our best to get them and bring them into a place where then the Live at 5s or the TIPA for 10s we'll be answering those pieces. So that's where we're getting a lot of those question pieces from.
Yeah. Well, and the one other change about how we're spending time, because now y'all sort of like on Friday, we talked about how do you spend time? Where are we going to put our energy? That was Saturday. We focused on a couple of shifts that we're making. There's still things we're keeping. We're keeping this stuff, but we're changing a little bit how much time we're spending on those things as we have figured out sort of like what works and what doesn't work for folks. So the last one that we're doing a shift on and how many people are involved is the other piece. We're going to once a month for straight up positive, SUP. Which is what's up, but it's SUP for those of you who are like into the lingo. We'll be doing that once a month rather than twice a month, which is where we were before, mostly because how much energy and time it takes to put together those things. And it's not that we don't want to celebrate, we do. And we may go back to it at some point, but we're just having to be more conscious of how we're spending energy because, like many companies, we've had to downsize a little bit. And it's been painful, but we've had to do that because the reality is we only have so many incoming resources. And so we have to conserve resources so that we can continue to do what we're doing. And we've got to keep a little reserve so that we can keep it going. So we're going to move that to once a month. But, there'll always be opportunities to celebrate in other settings. Oh, now there is a place that we're putting more energy. One is the website revision, which you should be experiencing sometime soon, but I'm knocking on wood because we'll be figuring it out over the course of a week, how that's going to play. We're hopeful, but, we won't know until it all happens. And even though we're saying this is Monday, for us, it isn't really Monday. So there's a whole weekend that's happening there that we don't really know exactly how it's all going to come down. The change shouldn't happen to the week after this week. But toward the end of this week, you might notice some glitching if they're testing things and things are not going as smoothly as we had hoped. Plugins. I hear plugins is like a dirty word. So what do I know? I'm just doing the best I can with it and holding on and hoping that it actually does work like they think it will work. We'll see. But the one thing that we're building stronger than ever is our TikTok channel. Because it turns out we can reach an enormous number of people in a short window of time. So as an example, something that we put up that was, I want to go home. I want to go home, which was me enacting a role play with Abby outside a doorway and her using what is more of a traditional sort of like, Mom, you are home. Please come back inside. Come on. Just don't do this. This is ridiculous. And then using a second strategy, which is more the PAC strategy, which is you're wanting to go home. Yeah, you don't want to stay here. This is not where you belong. Yeah. And the strategy of how do you help her be willing to come back inside for a little window of time anyway? How do you break this cycle without breaking the relationship? And, this stuff that we've been talking about over the last week about, focus and attention and energy and time. Yeah. We apply it. So this is TikTok world. So Matthew, you have a big role in this and you take what we do in TikTok and you do what?
Yeah. So Teepa, I've been taking those pieces. And so you guys will notice them popping up on all of our other social media platforms. So great news, celebrate for all those folks out there who don't want anything to do with TikTok, who would rather not be on there. You're going to be able to see all of those pieces on all of our different platforms. So depending on what you prefer to use, you'll get a chance to see, you'll get a chance to comment and ask questions. So certainly you'll be able to see that more now than we were able to before. So that's one of those big change pieces that we'll have there.
Cool. And you're primarily responsible for that. But we also have a couple of channels that we're developing. And those are like subscription services for people who really want to do a deeper dive or a little bit deeper, which is some of it's just the live TikTok stuff that is in one channel place, which means you can go find it. And it's not, I don't think it's expensive from what I remember. It depends on how much money you have. I understand that. So, but we're doing our best.
Yeah. And so Teepa, that piece there, that's that YouTube piece where we have now created memberships. So with those membership levels, and each one of them has a different cost, it depends on what you want to look at. So speaking of TikTok, we're taking the live sessions that Teepa does, because those pieces on TikTok, they don't stay there. Once they go off, that's it. You don't see that anymore. But luckily, our TikTok team, they record them. They can save those. And so now they're putting them in one place. And that's a lot of what we're doing with a bunch of pieces that we've noticed. Wow, people really are liking this. They're wanting to see these pieces. They're asking for them. They're wanting more of that. So we're taking all of those and we're trying to put them in one place. So you don't have to go searching through and looking for things back in history or news feeds. You can go sign up for one of these memberships and you'll have them all right there as we continue to edit them and put them on there and release them. So that's the other that's the other piece where there's going to be more time spent and some energy is making them look nice, putting some pieces together for them, and then putting them into those membership levels. But you'll have a one-stop place to be able to go and to see all of those big parts that a lot of folks are asking for. They'll ask a lot of the similar questions. And we know we have all of these videos we've already done. So that'll be another area that we're spending more time and energy in, is those YouTube memberships.
Yeah. So this wasn't meant to be a data dump. It's meant to be informative. It's meant to set the stage for this coming up year, because when we talked about everything last year, what you want to do at the end of a year before you start a new year, pause, take a look, and then, what you can do that makes sense. That's what we've done. We don't ask people to do things we don't do. So we do this stuff, just like we ask you to think about doing this stuff or try it out. The idea of trying something out. This is our try. So we hope that it works for everybody. We hope that it's helpful to folks. And we want to say thank you for everything in the past. And let's hope for a really great year together. So Matthew, thanks for all you do. And thanks for launching us into 2022. And we will see you again in different clothing. But now, did you all notice how Matthew turned on Merry Christmas? He did. Now, in real time, he's going to get back up just 2 more days, because he has to get through Friday evening, and then it comes down on New Year's. So they've got some work to do. Whew. Boy, am I glad I never did bother to put that Christmas tree on. We're working on countertops. It's a whole nother story. All right, everybody, take care with care. We'll see you again, we hope, soon at Ask Teepa Anything, at Teepa for 10, at Live at 5, at TikTok. Anyway, we hope we run across one another again, because together we're changing the culture of care. That's the goal. Take care.
Bye, everybody.